this is our first meeting, can we just start you, Lisa, and we'll go all the way around?
Yeah, I'm Elisa Dixon, City Council District 3.
I'm Thomas Spence, District 5.
Bill Batson, City Engineering Department.
Chase McCluskey, Engineering Department.
Todd Sullivan, engineering.
David Coots, Solid Waste Street and Recycling for the city.
Jackie Hendricks, District 2.
Ron Tyler, I'm the mayor, good to meet y'all.
And before we begin, I knew you were off last week and I accidentally called you. I hope your phone was off, but I hung up when I realized.
I didn't even have it hardly with me too much. So
I was gonna get an update for the council meeting. I thought, oh no, wait, I gotta call Chase. He's off. David actually requested and said we had some things we needed to talk about, so that's why we're here today. And then I had a couple of follow-up things, and y'all may as well. But David, you want to start us
Sure.
off?
I just kind of need to update you guys on some stuff going on with the transfer. So I got 4 things on the agenda here. So as you know, we're in the process of permitting a transfer station for the city. And this is a very specific thing that we have to go through. We've hired an attorney. This guy's named James Brash, a former ADM attorney. And we have to have what's called local government approval, meaning that I have to bring an application to you guys, the council, Katrina actually. I'll hand her a completed application. I got my dates written down here to be just by the book. I will hand her an application on December 29th, and you will have received it. Then I will need a recognized receipt of this at that council meeting coming up in January. All right, I got the rest of the dates put down here for public notice, public information session, public hearing, notice for public hearing, then a public hearing, and then for you to adopt it, hopefully April the 7th. Now, we're doing this is a new state law. We will be the 3rd facility permitting a solid waste facility in the state. The first one's a medical waste facility in Mobile County. The second one is a landfill in Blount County. We'll be the 3rd. This law was put into place because of the controversy with permitting landfills. We will actually take ourselves to court to make sure we've done it by the book, hence these specific dates and specific days between these dates to make sure that we have everything just right. Therefore, we can go to Lauderdale County Circuit Court and they'll say, y'all did it right, you approved it, you knew what was going on, you didn't sneak it in here, and everything's above board. All right, we've done some of this before, but I changed mayors and council in the process, and so if I have any amendments, that'd be a different group than this group. So we're going to just start the whole process again to make sure we're exactly by the book. I don't expect any controversy on this. There wasn't any controversy before. We're building this in industrial park. It's a perfect place for a transfer station. This thing probably, as you know, you may or may not know much about it, but it'll have a 50+ year lifespan. We're building it big enough for Florence to grow over the next 50 years. Everything's been done. Our consultant is 3 Notch Group out of Huntsville. And nothing controversial about it. We had no comments before. We've notified all the landowners before. Nobody cares much about it, which I would expect that to be the case. It's not a bad neighbor. But my reason here is, here's my list of things that hoops I have to jump through. The attorney is going to draft a lot of this for us, get with Billy, and make sure we're all in agreement. It'll come to you guys for approval. And I just wanted you to kind of know that up front. Any questions on that process for me and why we're doing it?
Can you, on the why, because this goes back to the previous council with those rate increases when we were using contract services, and also just for the benefit of doubt, explain the difference in our landfill versus why we use a transfer station. I think that'd be helpful.
Back when I came here in '98, we had a subtitle D landfill where we could bear our own garbage. And in '12, we decided to close that landfill from a municipal side of it, the garbage side of it, and just have a construction demolition debris landfill only. So we started contracting our garbage out at that time. We put it out for bid. Waste Connections, which is out of Walnut, Mississippi, got the low bid then, $27.30-something per ton. Since 2012, that rate has gone to $67 a ton. Because the more steps of the process we control, the more we can control our costs. Garbage is never coming down again. It's always gonna creep up, it's just kind of the nature of it. But it jumped, 2 years ago, it doubled, almost doubled. And so we decided, in looking at partnering with the county, they don't really have the room for us and them both. And so we decided we'd build our own transfer station and therefore control that step of this process. So in other words, we're gonna collect our garbage, which is really the cheapest way for a city or county to do it. You collect your own. We'll take it to our transfer station. We'll put this out as a bid per ton for either them to haul it or maybe one day us to haul it. Lauderdale County hauls their own. The other transfer stations around here contract the hauling part of it out. So Lauderdale County, for instance, paying $29 per ton for them to haul it to Republic Services landfill in Cortland. We're paying $67 for Waste Connections to run the transfer station, to load it, to haul it, in that whole process. That number will go up. It will go up every August from now on. Our contract expires August of 27 with them. We could renew it if we had to. But we, in talking with the last mayor and council, felt like this is our best option for Florence for the future. We'll control this part of the process. Maybe one day we want to add trucking and control that cost a little more. That's where we are. So this is the process of permitting the transfer station, which is a health department permit, not an ADM permit. I talked to the state health department, talked to the local health department. They're good with what we're doing, not surprised at that, nothing shocking about it. But this is all part of that process of what we're doing to help control costs for the future. Does that make sense? Any questions on that part?
And how will that bring the cost down?
Not coming down. It's just gonna keep it from going up as fast.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so, we'll, if you look at what Franklin County and Colbert County, they're paying in the $50 a ton range for them, for a contractor to haul it to a regional landfill. Lauderdale County's paying 29, they haul their own, now that's not counting transportation costs, obviously. We're paying 67, and I know ours is going up, everybody's has gone up here lately. Disposal at the regional landfills has doubled, from what it used to be.
But that's been the fastest growing line item in your budget, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Other questions? Does that answer your question? Okay. Anything else about that? So this is all part of the hoops we're jumping through to make sure we do everything right. This transfer station is designed, like I say, 50-year lifespan at least. It can be worked on and fixed, and, the floors replaced, so it'll last Florence a long time. It has the capacity to double what we're getting now. And I feel like that's important, because as Florence grows, or if we get businesses or industries, they'll use this transfer station also.
What does a transfer station look like? Is it
Okay.
a house building?
Explain the process,
Yeah,
what it does.
well, the last group, and I'm be glad to take you guys, anybody that you went to Lauderdale County and look at theirs. Basically, it is a ramped up floor and a trench, and I can bring designs next time, but these garbage trucks will back up that, or private trucks, or whoever will back up and dump onto a floor or dump into a trailer that's pulled under it. Then our machine will push that waste into that trailer and compact it and try to get a certain weight out of it. Then tarp, as soon as it's done, it pulls outside, a tarp goes over it, and then it goes to the regional landfill. Whichever one gets the bid, that process will be bid out. So it's got 3 sides on it, usually, a top, a trench, a pretty long ramp going to it, and then just a road and truck parking in and around it. That kind of makes sense. And like I say, if anybody wants to go, we'll take a field trip to Lauderdale County to the Petersville area and look at the counties, which is one of the nicer ones in the area.
Did you make, I can't remember the trees, you were buying a piece of equipment, the county had a piece of equipment for trees and
Grinding
logs.
trees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we doing that yet?
Not yet, that's coming up.
Okay.
You're jumping ahead.
All right. As long as I'm moving in the right direction and not the wrong direction.
Right, no, we're good. Any more questions on transfer?
So no counts or committee action you need today. The next thing will be you taking this to President Simmons on
Correct.
January 6th.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't think the committee needs to necessarily approve this. I think the council has to approve it, and we have to have your approval, but I don't think the committee needs to
Okay.
in that case. All right, moving, if everybody's done on that one, let's talk about the fixed to have to add some wells. These are just agenda items, but they're more complicated than my usual stuff of the ice machine contract. We have groundwater wells coming in. We have a groundwater well at the existing landfill. I brought a map, kind of give you. This goes back to when the landfill was MSW. We have groundwater wells that surround it. Groundwater is like surface water. I'm giving you your quick landfill groundwater well lesson in 3 minutes. It flows in a certain direction, just like Cypress Creek does, flows downhill. So these wells that go all the way around it are used to monitor to make sure the landfill doesn't impact the groundwater, okay? This particular well right here, MW12 has shifted, and so we can no longer sample it because the casing is shifted, don't know why, and we're gonna have to re-drill that well. Not a big deal, we've done it before. The issue we have with ADM is what you do is you monitor up gradient wells. In other words, we look at the wells upstream and we look at them downstream to see how the landfill is impacting it. Things show up. There's a lot of metals in everything that occurs in groundwater around here naturally. We monitor that twice a year. Use statistical analysis as approved by EPA to do those studies. And so now ADM and our hydrogeology consultants want us to add 2 more wells to this upgradient well puzzle, if you will. So basically, here is the Savannah Highway and landfill shop. We're gonna come in over on the Country Club property and put 2 more upgradient wells. We're gonna have to re-drill this well here to satisfy the requirements of ADM and EPA. It's gonna be, I'm guessing, $30,000-$40,000. The wells at I don't have that exact proposal yet, that's coming. The wells at the Country Club on the golf course will be flat. There won't be a pipe sticking up, so they won't know it's there other than a piece of concrete about the size of part of this table, and they'll come in here and do the sampling on that. I don't feel we have a choice in this, but it's gonna be kind of expensive, which is why I thought I'd bring it to the committee and get you kind of looking for it. Any questions on that?
30 or 40,000 per well?
Yeah,
No, I think it's gonna be total.
altogether.
Okay.
I think the 2 wells he's proposing is gonna be near Cypress Creek. They will serve as background wells. We have what's called cartography under here, meaning the groundwater's hard to measure. We've done a lot of study on this through the years with that diatrace study back in 2011 or 12 to show how the groundwater flows. It swirls. It's not typical, but we do have a good understanding of what it does, but ADM's requiring us to do this, and by EPA standards, that's kind of why we're doing this. I know that's a very brief synopsis of what's going on. If you have any specific questions, we can go further into it.
Is it outside of your current budget?
No,
It's
we're
40,000.
budgeted for it.
Okay.
We would put money in the landfill solid waste budget for this kind of stuff because it happens one way or another on different things. Questions on that part? All right. So let's talk about the air curtain burner. We are permitted for it. I brought cheap pictures that I printed out. Why it brings this up is the city of Gadsden has declared their brand new air curtain burner with a total of 8 hours on its surplus property. So I have the opportunity to buy that from them, resulting in a savings to the city of about, I budgeted $260,000 for this machine. Gadsden's willing to sell me theirs for about $208,000 as surplus property. So I'm gonna have a resolution to you guys to approve this purchase. This thing has 8 hours on it. It's brand new. They lost their place to put it. The 8 hours came from the demo and the training. This is permitted with ADM to go on Starkey Drive. This will take our wood waste out of the current C&D landfill. And we'll put it through here at about a 98% reduction in volume. And so we'll burn these logs and stumps at the street department that anybody else gets. In this burner, it's gonna burn it fast. It's gonna burn it hot, very little smoke. And it'll be a great way to dispose of that wood rather than burying it. That saves a lot of landfill space over the next couple of years.
Who do you do with the ash when it's done?
Anything you want to. We can use it, soil amendment, it's not regulated, so you can dispose of it. We can send it to the original landfill or mix it with old leaves that we collect and do that with it. Probably get with the master gardeners and see if they want to use it.
Yeah.
You know. Any questions on that? So I'm gonna need your permission, I don't know if you wanna do it as a committee or at the council meeting to buy this surplus property from Gadsden. We'll have Rodney Method will move this thing for us from Gadsden here. He's guessing, I don't have specific addresses of where and where, $7,000-8,000 to move it. Trailer, cranes, pick it up, set it down, weighs about 60,000 pounds.
So it's a budgeted item.
It is a budget.
So it probably shouldn't have to go through finance committee. We'd want to make a recommendation
Yeah.
to the full
To
council.
buy a surplus piece of equipment rather than a brand new one, still has warranty and all that stuff, so I think it's kind of a no-brainer, really. And it helps Gadsden out, and they're good folks over there, I know them a little bit.
You been there to observe it, see it?
No, I've talked to the
Visualize it.
salesman and talked to the public works person over there, he said it's brand new, we just, we got trained in it, and we lost our lease on the place we were gonna burn our wood, and we want to sell it, and the salesman knew I was looking for one, so Colbert County's just put one of these in over at their road department, Hartsville's got one, Scottsboro, they're very popular up here in North Alabama. Questions on that?
You cut it about 52,000, so yeah, that's good.
Yeah, minus the 7 for
Yeah.
all that.
Would one of y'all like to make a motion to send that to the full council? Review. Motion by Lisa,
Second.
second by Thomas. Discussion. All in favor? All right.
And finally, before I turn it over to my friends from engineering, at the street department, I've had street department since '08, maybe '06, I don't remember. Time flies when you're having fun. But we've had a tar tank down there, road tar, that has been pushed up in a corner for many years. And so we are in the process of letting the police department take over this facility for us since we don't need it, since we've moved to Starkville Drive. I need to clean that up. It's about half full of tar, and I can find no use for it by anybody else. Called the county guy, and they don't need it. They don't know the quality. But I have to responsibly clean this up, which I have found a contractor that works out of Huntsville that can come in and do what they call a cold cut on the tank. So we're gonna have to, the street department can move this tank. It's propped up in a corner. I don't know how it got there. Bill may know more than I do. I don't know how old that thing is. It's rusty, but half full of
No,
tar.
I have no idea about
Yeah.
it.
And so what we're gonna do is pick it up and move it down in the parking lot, and then this contractor will come in and actually cold cut it. So that, not sparks or anything, they'll cut it with shears of some sort, and then the street department will dig it out, put it in the roll-off box, and I have to take it to Public Services for disposal in their landfill. It's gonna be expensive, but it's the responsible thing to do. I have to do it. Once I do that, I can get rid of my stormwater permit at Railroad Avenue, since I have one, and I have fuel tanks. The fuel tanks are empty now, about ready to sell those on gov deals. So clean that up, get out from under my ADM permit, and that's gonna be before y'all probably in, hopefully, next couple council meetings. Questions on that particular thing? That make any sense?
Yeah, do you have an estimated, did you give an estimated cost?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's because I gotta pay the guy, the contractor to come in and cut the tank. The street will do a lot of the physical work. He'll provide the roll-off box that'll be lined. He'll haul it for us, and then I'll have to pay Republic Services per ton to dispose of it. It's not a hazardous waste. It'll be an industrial waste. I have to have ADM approval also. So there's gonna be several things kind of associated with this, but it's all I can clean it up and get it out of there.
Does it stay in a liquid form? Is it,
Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously old, it's been there a while.
It's fairly solid, so I'm gonna have
Okay.
dirt on site. If I have to mix it to solidify it, that's pass what's called a paint filter. In other words, it can't drip through a paint filter in a certain amount of time, or it's considered a liquid and the landfill can't take it. So I can solidify it on site with dirt or sand or gravel or something, which I might have to do. I don't know. That's coming up. I'll just give you a heads up on that one. Hopefully, so I won't have to come back here and talk about it. Any questions for me on any of these things, or anything else I got going on?
I have one from the public, but y'all have anything first?
Not budgeted, right?
The
Yes.
street department thing is not budgeted. I mean, we got some general line items in there that we'll probably put it under, but I hadn't specifically budgeted for that because I didn't expect it.
Okay, you're starting to get complaints, Waterloo Road outside the landfill with the mud again, since we're getting into the rainy season.
Yep.
I saw a truck leaving the stadium this morning, just packed with mud, headed that way. I know they're doing us a favor, with this, giving us this dirt. But, the big issue, the neighborhoods down below, when they pull in their garages, they're just tracking mud into their garage off their tires and stuff like that. So it's, this happened in the wet part of the year, in the spring too, but is there anything that we can
Let me
do?
study that and see what I can come up with. We may have to put a hose out there and hose them off a little bit when they come out. UNA is donating us this dirt from this, for the landfill cover dirt. We ran out of dirt at the landfill 2 or 3 years ago, and we're buying dirt, which was, 200,000 a year worth of dirt. And then once they started the stadium and this, dorms, and they're about to bid another project, I'm not sure what that is, but they started bringing us all this dirt at no cost for cover dirt. It does make a mess, and the landfill is a mess when it's this time of year, so let me see what I can figure out. I may have to put some gravel or something in, let them run over that before they get on the road, but it does make a mess. I know
Do
exactly.
they make a, I don't know, they call it a curtain, something you drive over and it's got the high pressure wheels?
They do make those, we
I don't know
don't
what it
have
costs.
that, but, they'd be expensive, but, man, let me see what I can come up with.
If we save money on the dirt, getting it
Yeah.
for free, maybe
Right.
we can look at something that hoses
Right.
off the other side of the truck,
Right.
tires.
Right.
And the second one is more of a joint question, but I think it falls more to you. The apron at the end of the driveway.
Mhm.
I've got someone that reached out to me, they're about to have their driveway redone, including the apron. And they asked the question, is it okay for them to do the apron, or do we need to call and get permission, and y'all have to come out and do their apron? How does that generally work when someone
Generally,
upgrades?
The street department will go through our friends at engineering here, for permitting and so forth. But we typically do the aprons now. I don't remember letting somebody do one, do you?
If typically if they're redoing their whole driveway and they're paying a contractor, it's easier for them just to get that contractor to do that apron. Now they have to get a permit through our office. Anytime anybody works in the right of way, whether it is any kind of work, they have to get a permit, and it doesn't cost anything through our department. It's just to let us know when we get a phone call, hey, what's going on at so and so address. We have a check and balance of where work's going on. If typically if somebody's putting in the driveway themselves, let's say they're putting in a secondary to a shop, it's just going to be grass, or they're going to do some stone work themselves. That's when typically they go through the street department, and the street department usually does around 5 to 7 feet what's in the right of way, just that apron, and then the homeowner, if they're doing the driveway, then the work themselves, they'll continue that on. If they're paying a concrete company, asphalt company to resurface their driveway, it's easier for them to just let that contractor do
I
it
think
at
that's
that
what they're
point,
looking
because
for,
otherwise it's
permission.
going to be cement of a lining. David's guys, and that's what we tell folks. Like, look, you're at the mercy of their schedule. We do not have just a dedicated crew that comes around. And they charge them material costs. So I mean, it's not like it's just they're getting that for free. By the time there is a little bit of savings, but like they're paying for the concrete through us, they're paying for the concrete through the contractor. We tell folks it'll be a lot seamless of a process if you just
I
get
think
your.
that's what they're looking for. I'll just tell them permission comes through the permit.
Yes, they need
And I'll send them to your
and
office.
a lot of the folks have our design. We have a detail that we can give them there to do that.
Good. That's all I had for you.
Can I throw in leaves real quick, just kind of give you an update? It is
Please.
leaf season.
Please.
If you looked on the website, there is a route that gets updated about every day, showing where the trucks are. We don't know we know where we're going. You can follow the route down and see what's going next, but we don't know how long it's gonna take us to get from where we are today, because your neighborhood may have a lot of leaves in it, yours may not. So we may go fast through yours and slow through yours. So you kinda gotta watch it and get a feel for how they're moving. Hopefully, if my mayor will let me, we're gonna go on overtime the week after. We usually do this once a year before Christmas and try to make a big push through the city and knock out a lot of these piles. We focus on raked piles this time of year, whereas in January we will get curb and gutter, but right now I'm trying to get what you've raked up. So it is a slow process right now because there's so many out there. If the weather turns pretty, it gets worse. Stays like this, people don't rake. So they're in the middle of it, and it's we had 4 trucks down last week. So had 4 running, but we had 4 down. So hopefully we'll have those back. It's just a challenge. Just be patient. Call me with specifics, and we're doing the best we can. Everybody hates me in December.
No, they don't.
That's all I have.
Great. Todd, Chase, Bill, y'all got anything y'all bringing today?
Yeah, Todd, I'm gonna let you go because apparently, y'all got those laptops and I need to go through this stuff.
The biggest, we don't have any, I would say, any items that are pressing. We do have, I wish we did have one item that was pressing to bring to you, and that's Pine Street Bridge repair. Give you a quick, brief history. We have to inspect our bridges basically every 2 years. Every 2 years is we have 11 bridges in the city. And we have one bridge that we have to inspect every year, just the way it's designed. There's design components that need to be checked every year. All our other bridges every 2 years. And when we inspected Pine Street Bridge, going on 4 years ago now, we saw some things that we hired a consultant like, okay, this is out of, we're bridges, we get a certification to inspect the bridges, but when it gets to a certain degree of, okay, this is not looking right, we hired a consultant to come in to give an opinion on how we needed to repair. And on Pine Street, if you are looking on the south side of the bridge, the first 2 supports, so you have your roadway, and then it sits on the pillars that come up from the road. So there's a cap that sits at the very top of those. It is very cracked, would be a very understated term, but we'll say it is in desperate need of repair. Those were the things that brought our attention to the bridge. Upon further inspection, there were some other items that we put a new surface on it. I don't know if you've noticed going through Pine Street, but if you look at the bridge, it looks like it's being resurfaced. It's a darker color asphalt. We put an epoxy. We put the railings. We put the new, maybe a little safer, put railings up there to protect the pedestrians, and then just some different repairs. But we had one contract that went out about 2 years ago to do the majority of the work, except the major work on those 2 caps. And we were working with the state. The Alabama DOT gave us their recommendations of how to repair them. We hired Garber Engineering to come up with the design and the estimated cost. The estimated cost has changed over the years that, because to repair it, they have to basically raise the bridge 1 inch and tear out this concrete cap that the bridge is sitting on. It's all concrete. They'll tear that out. They'll put it on temporary supports, tear out that concrete cap, reform it, pour it, set the bridge back down. So all while traffic stays on top. Like we will. That was our reaction. So we're like, okay. And they're they're like, this is to a bridge builder. They're like, oh no, this is just a Tuesday. And we're like, okay. And so we've got our design. We put it out for bid, and we had 0 bidders. So now that we put it out for bid, we can go and now we can negotiate and talk with different contractors for a price on this and the work. And that is I don't know if it's because it's a small job, for whatever reason, we cannot get a lot of interest on this job. We met with one contractor, the price that we got for just lifting the bridge. I mean, there's funding out there to replace bridges at like 80, 20, 90, 10. Like the price we got for just raising it was almost our portion of replacing the bridge. So like it blew the budget way out. So we've talked with 4, 5, 6 different folks trying to get some leads and repairs. The engineer, the state, there's no harm scarce that something is going to, there's enough support there that obviously the bridge is staying open. Once we found this, before we got it evaluated, we did close it. We sent them pictures. They said, no, everything's good. You're able to open it back up, that sort of thing. So there's no, but it does need to be repaired. We're just having a hard time finding somebody to do this work. And I'm afraid once we get this, find somebody to do it, the estimated cost that we were told at the beginning is not going to be what it's going to be a little bit higher, because and I guess it is, the majority of work is raising the bridge. Like the concrete work that needs to be done is relatively easy concrete work. It's just lifting the structure an inch above the ground, the ground, and setting it back down. So it is more of a lifting project here. So be on the. I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up. That is we're trying to get that pushed along and trying to find some contractors. But I'm afraid once we do get that, and maybe can get a price or two, we'll bring it back to this committee first before bringing it to full council. And just to kind of give y'all a heads up that, hey, this is fixing to come down to the council. It is a project that needs to be done, and depending on the cost we get at these, I'm hoping we can find some cheaper options. Our engineer that designed it is really telling us we can find some cheaper options. We've looked at other jobs similar in the the state, looked at the state bid list, and they fall into the range that where he got his estimates. It's just trying to get those people to bid on our work. So but yeah, so that is the kind of a low hanging fruit there that we're looking at trying to get some work done. So if you know somebody that can lift a bridge, tell them to give us a call. So, but any questions on that?
Well, end us on a high note. It looks like this fence is about ready to be moved.
Yes, we're gonna make a call, so street department should be there anytime now to put the last little bit of the asphalt down. Concrete work is done. We may replace, they may have to redo some little sections, but we should still be able to leave everything open. So as soon as we leave this meeting, we're gonna make a call to the contractor to see if they can come pick the fence up. If not, we will probably get the street department and we'll just move the fence. Gotta talk to you about that, but that is my plan. So I'm hoping my plan is the next few days, we will get downtown open back up.
Awesome.
So,
Thank y'all.
You overseed it, is that right? Is that the next step? Overseeding that dirt lot? Throwing some hay down?
Yes, that's what I said before. Now the project won't be closed out. We'll just have it opened up. But for them to, there's some things. I'm guessing the bus stop didn't get moved.
It's gone.
It's gone. Okay,
It's gone.
that's what I didn't look out there this week. But before we can close it out, they do. That is part of the project, overseeding and getting that stabilized. So
The tree live, by the way, did the tree stay?
So far, so good.
trees there.
There's a controversial tree out there that I don't know if it was coming or going.
Mm-mm.
And
It is
I
staying.
think we're still waiting to see whether that tree makes it or not. So, it was, try to save the tree if you could by the architect, and we're just holding out hope on all of them that surround it.
Fair enough.
We will have given it our best effort if it lives, or if it dies.
So we're not putting gravel in there, right?
Not at this time.
So the request that I'm getting, and I've tried to explain to them from the feedback from engineering that we just can't do this for safety issues, is business owners have offered to pitch in on gravel and road ties if we could just make it some temporary parking. But without lighting and all the trip hazards, we just open up ourselves to a lot of liability doing that. And so it's just not, I'm told it's not feasible.
And vandalism, anything else.
Yeah, and so, green space is our safest,
And from a gravel standpoint too, you start graveling, you paint lines on gravel, and they're there about a day, 2 days, and then a lot that size. Like, I mean, there would be some other
Well, it's against the code as well.
That's the other thing as well.
You drive Justin crazy,
Mhm.
putting a gravel parking lot out there.
Yes.
Anything else? Shall we adjourn?
Thank you for what you do,
Yeah,
all of
thank
you, in your departments.
Thank you.
All right.